Okay, so this DOJ dumb fuck, Lindsay Halligan, fucked up big time. So let's watch a report on it and we'll go into who Lindsay Halligan even is and some reporting from CNN on the case.
Welcome back. We have some breaking news from that motions hearing in the James Comey case. Let's get right to our MS Now legal affairs reporter, Fallon Gallagher, who was inside the courtroom. What did you hear and what have we learned?
Yeah, Anna, the biggest headline today had nothing to do with the motion that was actually being considered by the judge. We learned some very important information about what happened with those grand jury proceedings that another judge, a magistrate judge, earlier this week said could amount to misconduct. So basically what we learned is that Lindsay Halligan went into that grand jury room and initially presented a 3-count indictment. We knew this. The grand jury said no true bill to one of those counts and only charged Comey with those 2 counts that they did agree to. Now we know that Lindsay Halligan never actually presented that new 2-count indictment to the grand jury. Instead, they reprinted a draft copy of a proposed indictment with only those 2 counts, and only the foreperson signed it. So this is a really big deal because she never actually presented to the full grand jury the indictment with which James Comey is charged. Now, the judge has asked for the government to look into a case from 1969 that we understand has to do with a similar grand jury proceeding. He's asked for some briefing on that. The defense will respond. But if this is the case, this could be a really big deal, and this could be grounds enough for the Comey defense team to actually have this indictment completely thrown away.
Yeah. The grand jury indictment wasn't signed by the grand jury. The grand jury didn't see the grand jury indictment. Lindsay, girl, you fucked up. What the hell? Like, what is this? Like, this is crazy. Okay, so let's go into Lindsay Halligan, this fucking idiot. So, Lindsay Robin Michelle Halligan, who is an American attorney who has been serving as the interim United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia since September of 2025. Halligan has additionally served as Special Attorney for the Department of Justice since October 2025. Special Attorney is like, it's just like a title that Pam Bondi has been throwing out to like Trump loyalists at the DOJ. Her being one of them, another one being, who's that idiot from New Jersey? Alina Habba, that dumb fuck. Anyways. She served as special assistant to the president and the White House, senior associate staff secretary from January to September. So she literally was working for Trump and then got, as soon as they could, they appointed her into this special attorney. And now she's the special attorney. She's not even fully working for the DOJ. Now she's the interim United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. So, like, none of this has gone through the proper channels. None of it. In January 2025, Trump named Halligan as the White House Senior Associate Staff Secretary. She advocated for action against exhibits at the Smithsonian Institution Museum that she saw as disparaging the United States. And by that, they mean, like, acknowledging the acknowledgement of, like, slavery and like institutional racism, like those types of things. This woman is a nut. In September, Trump forced the interim United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Eric Siebert, from his position over his handling of his office's investigations into Trump opponents. Okay, so Eric Siebert was fired by Trump because Trump ordered him to investigate and charge James Comey and Letitia James. They had committed no crimes. So, this is so fucking funny. Okay, so Eric Siebert was appointed he was a district attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia from January to September of 2025. So he was appointed by Trump. But Trump tried to make him tried to force him to charge Letitia James and James Comey because they had investigated Trump under Biden. And there's a few things with Comey. There's a bunch of shit. But they committed no crimes. There was no crimes. Letitia James has not committed crimes. Comey has not committed crimes. There's no there. So because Eric Siebert refused to charge them because there was nothing to charge them with, Trump fired him and appointed Lindsay Halligan. Trump named Halligan, who had no prosecutorial experience. No prosecutorial experience as the interim U.S. attorney and nominated her for the position. So this woman, she was an attorney. She has never tried a case. There are prosecutors and there are defenders. She was a defender. She's never tried a case. So this is absolute bullshit. The fact that she is going to be a district attorney, somebody who's supposed to uphold the law, like, she has no idea what the fuck she's doing. Evidenced by her major fuck up today. So, like, fuck. Okay, so CNN report what to know about Lindsay Halligan's big grand jury revelation at James Comey's vindictive prosecution hearing. Okay, after a shocking back and forth where prosecutors conceded that instead of presenting a new indictment to the grand jury after it declined to approve one of the 3 counts, interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan simply brought an altered version, omitting the rejected count, to the magistrate's courtroom for the grand jury's four-person to sign. Her admission sent shockwaves through the courtroom on Wednesday, where attorneys were gathered to argue a separate legal issue of whether Comey was charged only because of President Donald Trump's animus towards him. Judge Michael Nachmanoff, despite appearing exasperated and taking several seconds of silence to take in what the prosecutors admitted, did not give away whether he viewed the issue as a procedural or fatal error. Nachmanoff did not make any rulings from the bench, saying that the issues before him were too weighty to immediately decide. Well, in a brief filed Wednesday evening, the Justice Department defended Halligan's grand jury presentation and said the case should not be dismissed. The final indictment was reviewed by the grand jury foreperson and another representative, and then explained on the record in open court that it was reflective of the grand jury vote, the Justice Department wrote. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It was only signed by the foreperson. It wasn't signed by the grand jury. You don't have a grand jury indictment. You don't have it. The former FBI director has pleaded not guilty to lying during congressional testimony. Nachmanoff called on Halligan, Trump's hand-picked U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, who secured the indictment against Comey by herself. I wonder why. To explain exactly what grand jurors did or did not see. Halligan appeared frustrated as she confirmed that only the foreperson and one other juror, not the entire grand jury, saw the final indictment in the brief exchange. She tried to answer the judge before he finished asking his question and concluded the exchange with a terse, "Okay." It frustrates me to no end when people are incompetent and rude about their incompetence. Like, bitch, you're the one who fucked up. Why are so many people allergic to apologizing and just being like, yeah, man, I fucked up. You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. Well, maybe a little bit more formal for court, but you get the gist. The back and forth lasted for about 1 minute. Nachmanoff also trained his attention on a different prosecutor on the case, Tyler Lemons, and asked him to explicitly confirm that the final document was never presented to the grand jury. And he said, "I wasn't there, but that is my understanding," Lemons said. I honestly have no words for this. Like, I honestly, like, what do you say? Like, what? Everybody was like, no, she's incompetent. You can't appoint her. The first case she tries, she fucks up, like, in a huge way. And I wonder why. She's never tried a case. And the former district attorney who was in her position was literally fired because he could not find anything, like, illegal that James Comey had done, or Letitia James. But this dumbass comes in and she's like, oh, I can find something to charge them with, and fucks up. Doesn't get the fucking grand jury to sign off on it. Like, that's... What the fuck? So this is Representative Jerry Nadler from Manhattan, I believe. Donald Trump's DOJ didn't just make a minor error here. Filing an indictment that the grand jury never voted on violates Comey's constitutional rights and makes a mockery of the justice system. Lindsay Halligan's conduct must be investigated immediately and could warrant disbarment. No prosecutor has the authority to rewrite the Constitution or sidestep the safeguards that protect the public. So, as like in America, as a person being tried, you have a lot of rights. So, I don't see how this could go well in any way for the people trying to prosecute James Comey. You would have to waive his constitutional rights in multiple different ways. Like, it... I mean, like, I'm not the biggest fan of James Comey, like, but besides that, I don't think he's a criminal. All right, so Ambassador Eisen discusses lawsuits against Trump. He's on Midas Touch with Ben Meiselas. So Eisen said, it's exactly as legally effective as if you and I wrote an indictment of Donald Trump right here on Midas Touch. She had never been before a grand jury. She's an insurance lawyer. Yikes. The reason they put Lindsay Halligan there was because the regular prosecutors refused to prosecute the case, wanted nothing to do with it because the charges against Comey are so bogus and made up. This is another example where we filed a legal brief on behalf of former judges to tell the court that this is a joke and a new low. The indictment wasn't even presented to the grand jury. None of us have ever heard of anything like this. This case is going to be flushed by the courts, and it should be. We've already seen Donald Trump start to lose some of these baseless criminal prosecutions, and this is another one that I think is doomed because of the incompetence. Who knows how much trouble we'd be in if Donald Trump were a competent authoritarian. True. That's like, I hear them comparing them to Nazis, and I think about Nazis, and we learned a lot, and they were pretty organized in what they did. What they did was like demonic and evil, but they did convince the majority of the country to think that way. So this Trump regime is so incompetent and lazy and just like, oh my God, no brain cells. It's just so stupid and bad. They're doing such a bad job. Like, how can you do a bad job at doing a bad job? Like, you're not even good. You're not even competent enough to be an authoritarian. That should be embarrassing for you. And so this is a headline from Politico. Comey case hanging on by a thread as judge squeezes DOJ over Halligan's handling. Because she fucked up big time. I've seen so many people, like there are lawyers or former lawyers, that have said, this bitch needs to be disbarred. Well, they didn't say this bitch. I say, this bitch needs to be disbarred. Like, what the fuck are we doing? She shouldn't have been made a special attorney. That shouldn't be a thing. Donald Trump and Pamela Joe Bondi, who's in his fucking pocket, should not have the power to just make anybody a U.S. attorney without the approval of anybody else. That is actually that should be. I'm pretty sure it is they're using this special attorney label as a loophole, and it should not be able to happen. But like they've done it with Alina Habba, they've done it with her, and both of them are idiots, Trump loyalists, and can't do their fucking jobs. So Jesus fucking Christ. And all of the fucking this is the part of like gender washing that goes on with the Trump regime. They put all of these women in important positions that so they can be like, look, we support women. We support women's rights. Meanwhile, they're waging an attack on women, and the misogyny has been through the fucking roof lately. Through the roof. It is so fucking bad. Donald Trump telling a fucking reporter, quiet, piggy? Excuse me? And he just gets away with it, and all the other press, let me ask you a question. No, what happened to solidarity? If somebody said quiet, piggy, to a reporter standing next to me, and if I was a reporter, I would ask him the exact same fucking question. Or I would walk the fuck out, because what the fuck? It is so fucking ridiculous. What else did he fucking say? He verbally attacked a fucking reporter who was doing a actual good job. We need to elevate reporters who do a good job when they do a good job, because journalism is dying. The press is dying in this fucking godforsaken fascist authoritarian regime. Nobody is offering pushback. Nobody is doing follow-up questions. It's fucking annoying as fuck. So good for that ABC reporter who asked Mohammed bin Salman about fucking Jamal Khashoggi and about 9/11, because what the fuck? If the war on terror was caused by George Bush, but other than that, the war on terror was precipitated by the attack of 9/11. 9/11 was carried out by Al-Qaeda, funded by the Saudis. You had a member of Al-Qaeda, a former member of Al-Qaeda, in the Oval Office last week. You had Prince Mohammed bin Salman yesterday, and these people should be fucking pressed. They should be fucking asked. World leaders and people in power should have their feet held to the fucking fire, because they are in charge of people's lives, and they're not supposed to be fucking corrupt. They're not supposed to be murderous dictators. They're not supposed to be authoritarian bitch ass fucking Nazis. Fuck you. Fuck you, Donald Trump. I don't like the way you. It's not your question. It's the way you asked it. I'm pretty sure it's the way that. I'm pretty sure the way that she asked it is fine. It's probably the question. Me thinks it's the question. I do. I think it's the question. I do think it was the question. You asshole. You whiny little bitch boy. You tantrum having toddler. Fuck you. What's wrong, Donald? Did somebody forget to change your diaper? You demented fool. Fuck off. And fuck this bitch. Fuck all these fucking people in the fucking, fuck these people in fucking Trump regime. I have nothing else to say to them. What are we doing? This person needs to be disbarred. Fuck all of them. This is so unserious. Clearly the war on terror meant nothing. Which I already knew. But it's wow. It's crazy that they said. It's crazy that they're the ones say. Well, anyways, what is the world? What is this timeline? Okay, so 2 weeks ago now, I made a video about RFK's mistress, about how she is writing a tell-all book, and if you a few outlets got a taste of what was in that book, and we went through it all. We talked about how they exchanged poetry. It allegedly they never consummated the relationship, even though they were intimate enough for her to have seen like his toiletry kit and his like prescription. Like it was all very weird. And he talked about her wanting to have her baby. Like there was she talked about how he still does psychedelics and has smoked DMT. It was a whole, go watch that video if you want more extra context. So she had an affair with RFK. She's writing a tell-all book. Part of it has to do with her affair with RFK. So in that article that we read 2 weeks ago now, it said that at the time she was engaged to a reporter named Ryan Liz, I believe his name is, and also RFK has been married the whole time to, like, I think her name is Cheryl Hines from Curb Your Enthusiasm. But now the ex of the mistress of RFK, this is a fucking web. He has now came out and said that, or has now come out with like evidence, and basically he found poetry that they exchanged and exposed it. And fuck this man. He's ruining Health and Human Services in the USA. He's like responsible for so much fucking bullshit and the misinformation that he pours out of his fucking mouth. This man deserves no fucking peace. That I'll just say that, okay? The scorned ex-fiance of RFK Jr.'s alleged former lover has spilled the tea on the Health and Human Services Secretary's penchant for self-penned erotic poetry. Ew. Your open mouth awaiting my harvest. What? What? Ew. Wait. Ew. Just, I want you to remember it's RFK. Ew. Okay. The scion of the Kennedy clan is alleged to have written to former New York Magazine star reporter Olivia Nuzzi, according to a new Substack article on the salacious saga published Saturday by Nuzzi's ex, Ryan Liza himself, a journalist formerly at Politico. Ew. I got the heebie-jeebies. Drink from me, love. Kennedy is understood to have gone on in his poem to Nuzzi. I mean, ew. Ew. I'm sorry, I'm comfortable. I mean to squeeze your cheeks, to force open your mouth. I'll hold your nose as you look up at me, to encourage you to swallow. Don't spill a drop. I'm a river. You are my canyon. I can't. I mean to flow through you. I mean to subdue you, my love. No. Ew. That's who's writing this. Keep that in mind. No. Okay, keep going. And this is her. Mind you, she's like early 30s. He's like early 70s. 39-year difference. Fucking disgusting. I don't care if it's legal. It doesn't mean it's right. Like, that's disgusting. I said it in 2 weeks ago now, and I'll say it again. Legal does not mean okay. And just because something is legal doesn't mean you have to do it. Liz has titled Kennedy's ode to his ex-fiancée, American Canyon, a not-so-subtle play on Nuzzi's upcoming memoir, American Canto. Well, that's him? Okay, maybe she just likes ugly guys. I don't know. Sorry. While the former Politico reporter does not divulge how he obtained the poem, he says that it and many others too explicit to print changed everything in his relationship with Nazi. Those were the safe for work ones? Okay. Okay. Ah! Sorry. The next line is crazy. Thanks to Bobby, I am aware of something called felching, Liza added Saturday. What? What? I if there was a time I wanted to disappear, it'd be ooh, wow. Okay. I'm not explaining that in my own words. I'm gonna Urban Dictionary this shit. In 1 second, I'll cut it. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, I'm back. Okay, felching. The act of ejaculating semen into one's anal cavity and then sucking it out through a straw, funnel, or other receptacle. Bobby's a felcher. No. No, Bobby! I don't know how to act. I don't know how to act. Secretary of Health and Human Services, everybody. Wow. Just a fucking wow. 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 I need to go to church. I need to go to church. I need to go to church. Father, can you hear me? The Daily Beast has researched the term and urges readers not to do the same. Well, yes. The whole... Oh, God, this is not good. The whole sordid saga is back in the spotlight after Liza alleged in part 1 of his tell-all account. Part 1? There's more? Well, he did already say there were many others too explicit to print. Oh my God. Fuck me with a chainsaw. Like, no. Like, what the hell? Never. No. No, 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 no. Wow. Okay. Okay. Part 1 of his tell-all account that Nazi had not only cheated on him with Kennedy, but also with former South Carolina Republican Representative Mark Sanford. That's the guy who, like... I'm gonna have to. I don't want to mess up because I'll cut it 1 sec. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I got it all correct. I didn't want to mess up anything. In June 2009, after having disappeared from the state for nearly a week, Sanford he just stopped showing up to work. Like, he just disappeared, didn't tell anybody. Like, everybody around him was like, well, yeah, like trying to bullshit for him. It was crazy. Sanford publicly revealed that he had engaged in an extramarital affair. He had led his staff to believe that he was going hiking on the right. That was the bullshit. They were like, everybody was like, where is he? And all of his aides were like, he's hiking in the trails of the Appalachian Mountains. And we were all like, what? Like, what? He had led his staff to believe that he was going hiking on the Appalachian Trail, but actually went to his mistress, Maria Belén Chapur, in Argentina, although the scandal made national headlines, leading to his censure by the South Carolina General Assembly and his resignation as chair of the Republican Governors Association. Sanford did complete his second term as governor. America is so fucking crazy. He just dropped out and said, "See ya, bye, be back in a week. Gonna go fuck my bitch in Argentina." The fuck, like, and kept his job as governor. Like, what? and she was fucking this old motherfucking dude too. Like, oh my god. This is insane. Like, this is insane. Like, who is this woman? Oh my god. Nuzzy, whose new post as West Coast editor at Vanity Fair could already be under threat, has meanwhile released extracts from her forthcoming memoir in which she describes grappling with her desire for Kennedy amid concerns that that a parasitic brainworm may have eaten parts of his brain. I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure of anything, but I'm like 98% sure that is the truth. I choose to believe it. Her affair with Kennedy is understood to have begun while she was covering his ill-fated 2023 presidential campaign. She later acknowledged an emotional relationship with him, but said it was non-physical and that it did not affect her reporting. Bullshit. Bullshit. I call fucking bullshit. Fuck that. Fuck you. Like we talked about, like it was literally parts of her memoir that was given to outlets. They were intimate enough to have seen each other's like prescription and toiletry kit, like his top kit. Like they were intimate. It wasn't like, and this motherfucker's on steroids and like every fucking, like he's on like testosterone and all these fucking old things in his 70s. You know, he's like, ew. After the news first broke, New York Magazine placed Nuzzy on leave before she and the outlet parted ways in October of 2024. Liza had by that point already broken off their engagement. In October of 2024, Nuzzy sought a protection order against Liza alleging harassment and threats, though she later asked the court to drop the request. So who knows what that is. Okay, so I guess the Daily Beast has a podcast for whatever fucking reason. They had this poetry guy on, and RFK Jr.'s sex poetry is sophomoric cringe, says author. Oh, Bobby, you really keep fucking shit in the bed, Bobby. You really keep shit in the bed. Oh, God. The people are not going to be happy to hear this. The reviews for Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s poetry are in. The health secretary's attempt at a sensual sonnet reads more like an adolescent's porn fantasy. Jesus Christ. Best-selling author Kurt Anderson dissected the 71-year-old RFK's poem for his alleged digital lover, 32-year-old journalist Olivia Nuzzy. 7132. 7132. 7132. Which generated buzz and nausea after it was publicly unveiled by her scorned ex-fiancé Ryan Liza in a nail-biting expose. The poem allegedly reads, "Your mouth..." Okay, we read this, I think. Yeah, don't... we read that. I'm not doing it again. Anderson, an award-winning writer, wasn't too impressed with Kennedy's crack at literature. This poem, first of all, is reckless because he's married and he's running for president. And like, dude, really? It's so cringe in a particularly, to me, adolescent way. This 70-year-old man, or whatever he was at the time, writing this thing to this woman who's almost 40 years younger than him. Ew. It's just, oh my God, you're beyond just the embarrassment of the revelations about one's sex life or non-sex life or virtual sex life or postmodern adultery or whatever it is. The sheer awfulness of the poetry in its adolescent way is the thing that struck me. But then I pretend to be a writer, and I guess Bobby doesn't. He's just romantic. He's just a Byronic figure. Anderson was particularly put off by the death-dealing descriptions in Kennedy's sonnet, which he said just fell short of, and then I will strike you and punch you or something. An adolescent who, unlike people 50 years ago, has seen a lot of porn, might be inspired to have this violent porn-like fantasy encounter with this woman. It was hideous. Jeez. Though Liza provided scant specifics about Kennedy's love letter to his then fiancée, he said he discovered the poem during last year's presidential campaign. Damn, and you waited this long? Nazi had been covering the independent candidate for New York Magazine, which parted ways with her after Status News revealed that she had been exchanging steamy text messages with Kennedy. The relationship was purely digital, Nazi said at the time. Kennedy claimed that he had only ever met the journalist once. I doubt that. But the Daily Beast, which employed Nazi from 2014 to 2017, later reported that he bragged about having her intimate photos. Ew. You're 70. Are you, what the fuck? What are you, in 8th grade bragging about you having a fucking Playboy? What the fuck are we talking about? Hello? What? Kennedy was and still is married to actress Cheryl Hines, who is 60 years old, who is reportedly irate about Nazi's bombshell account of their affair in her upcoming book. Liza has also blasted Nazi's new novel, American Canto, as a campaign of misinformation about what really happened. Damn. And Cheryl's beautiful. Look at her. She's beautiful. I don't understand how she's married to this freak, this anti-vaxxer, anti-science fucking bullshitter that just spews misinformation like it's his fucking job. And his job is to actually do the opposite. I wish I hadn't been put in this position and that I didn't have to write about any of this, that I didn't have to subject myself or my loved ones to embarrassment and further loss of privacy, Liza wrote. Unfortunately, I'm the only other person who knows everything, and while sometimes I wish I could unknow it, the least I can do is share the parts I believe you should know too. Vanity Fair, meanwhile, said it was reviewing Nazi's appointment as West Coast editor in the messy aftermath of Liza's revelations. I mean, I wouldn't trust this woman to be, unbiased or, I saw a tweet from Ken Klippenstein the other day, and he said, reporters sleeping with sources should never happen, but let's not pretend it doesn't. And I was like, can nobody just be professional? For anything, everything is run by sex. It's so gross. The Daily Beast has reached out to Kennedy's office for a comment. I doubt you will get a comment back about this. So, like I said, I made a whole video that talked about the revelations from the snippets of her memoir that were released to certain media outlets in a video 2 weeks ago now. It's in the News React playlist. If anything else comes out like this, I will continue to make videos. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, so there may be more Republicans resigning from Congress following Marjorie Taylor Grift. There's been some new reporting from Punchbowl News, and a few sitting House Republicans have been leaking to them that they are fed up and they may be retiring as well. A few from Jake Sherman on Twitter. A few other GOP members messaged us over the weekend saying that they too are considering retiring in the middle of the term. Here's one particularly exercised senior House Republican. This entire White House team has treated all members like garbage. All. And Mike Johnson has let it happen because he wanted it to. Wanted it to happen. That is the sentiment of nearly all. Appropriators, authorizers, hawks, doves, rank and file. The arrogance of this White House team is off-putting to members who are run roughshod and threatened. They don't even allow little wins like announcing small grants or even responding from agencies. Oh, okay. Or even responding from agencies. Not even the high profile, the regular rank and file random members are more upset than ever. Members know they are going into the minority after the midterms. More explosive early resignations are coming. It's a tinderbox. Morale has never been lower. Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel and they will lose the majority before this term is out. Wow. Okay. So this is big news. Hopefully, like, if more and more Republicans keep on resigning, then there's a possibility the Democrats can gain a majority in the House before the midterms even happen. And it sounds like they all know this is a shit show. Even we're getting treated like shit, and we championed this shit. And now they're all ready to fucking quit and fucking retire. And hopefully this motherfucker can be impeached. Like, this is good fucking news and good for them. Well, it shouldn't have taken them this fucking long. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And look at the fucking ship you fucking tie yourself to. That's fucking crazy. Are you fucking stupid? Anyways, so Marjorie Taylor Greene responded to this on Twitter, and she had to say, fact check. True, but it's worse than people inside the bubble know when you talk to real Americans outside the wicked snow globe of Washington, D.C. Well, yeah. Myself and many of my colleagues came courageously roaring into 2025 with legislation that matched the 2024 electoral mandate, only to be totally sidelined by Johnson under full obedience of the White House. Executive orders are temporary. Q memes have not, and what? Q memes have not and obliterated the deep state. What? Have not and will not? Does she mean that? I don't know. And my colleagues constantly trying to pass loyalty tests instead of demanding what is right won't help Americans pay their rent or stop corporations from buying up homes, buy their groceries, provide good paying jobs, and stop foreigners with visas from stealing their jobs. Stop American tax dollars from funding foreign wars and causes or rebuild the value of the dollar. Passing effective legislation that gets signed into law is permanent and actually solves Americans' problems. Now that House members are switching gears into campaign mode and will be fighting for their lives, our legislative majority has mostly been wasted. Our best shot was the first 6 to 9 months, and when Republicans likely lose the midterms, it will become total and complete political war and gridlock once again. The Uni Party always wins no matter which way the political pendulum swings, leaving the American people empty-handed. What is the convincing message for 2026 and likely 2028? It will be the American people asking candidates, what's the tangible thing you have done for me, and how did it or will it make my life better? Very true. And then actually trying to get them to vote after both parties have failed them. Serious changes are needed and words are unconvincing. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, broken clock is right once a day. She announced her resignation or retirement, whatever, this fucking weekend. And I could not care less to make a video on that shit. If it's going to be a wave of Republicans resigning, then I'll pay attention. But I do not care to give that woman more attention than she already gets, because I think that's what she thrives on. And also, like, insider trading and, like, money, whatever. She's cashing out. She's either cashing the fuck out, going to go, like, the podcast route, Tucker Carlson route. Like, I don't really know. The first thing I thought of when I saw the video, I was like, oh, she's running for president. She has said that she's not, but, you know. She has said that she's not, but maybe she's not running for president. She's gearing up to be Tucker's VP pick, and honestly, the person who's going to have the upper hand on the campaign trail is not in office right now. Like, if she wants to, like, campaign and have the upper hand, she's not going to be able to be in Congress, stuck in Washington. But who knows? We shall see. And, like, keep your eyes open for it, because she's been positioning herself as, like, the answer for a post Donald Trump MAGA world. MAGA is a cult. And when the cult leader dies, there's never just one person who was supposed to be up to take the crown, basically, to take the throne. Almost every single cult, there's always splinters or multiple people who are trying to get it off, and then the group splits into multiple factions, or an authoritarian force comes in and gets rid of all of the people that would be the potential to take leadership, like David Miscavige from Scientology. He internally got rid of everybody that could be that could take over for L. Ron Hubbard. And once he got rid of everybody else that was the potential pick, he was the only viable option, and he took over. J.D. Vance does not have the ability to do that. He does not. David Miscavige is a sociopathic, organized little freak, and J.D. Vance is just a putz. So the argument could be made for sociopathic, but just a putz. He's not organized at all. Like, it's just a fucking... Can't stick up for his wife. Changed his religion like 3 fucking times. Can't even stand up for his children either. Talks poorly about his wife. Like, he's so fucking gross to me. Like, I don't understand. Even Trump hates him. Like, it's so... He spent the whole summer in California while shit talking it. Like, it was so fucking... Going to fucking Disney, like, it was so fucking annoying. Like, I hate that motherfucker. I hope he retires. Like, Jesus fuck. And I hope this bitch goes and finds a shack in the Appalachian Mountains and goes and lives her life. Like, go to buttfuck Georgia with your millions and just fuck off, Marjorie. We don't need you with your fucking QAnon conspiracy theories, Jewish fucking space laser ass. Like, it was like couple months ago when this woman was talking about the Texas floods and the conspiracy theory that, like, Democrats had, like, weather guns or like something. She was saying that, like, you move the weather, like, she was saying it was like manufactured. She's crazy, okay? She is a little she's more politically savvy than I ever gave her credit for, which, good for her on that front. But she's still fucking crazy. She's still a fucking bigot. She's still anti-Semitic. Like, none of these things change. She's still anti-immigrant. Like, she's still a fucking transphobe. Like, a broken clock is right twice a day. But that broken clock is still Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right, so some new reporting has come out that Kash Patel might be getting fired. And I'm sitting here wondering how it took this long. How many public fuck-ups has this man had? And how guilty does he look every single time he's in front of a fucking camera? I don't understand. He's always sitting there like... And he literally looks like a human bump of cocaine. Like him and Dan Bongino look like they have a fucking like crosshairs pointed at them, or they're just like running on cocaine and vibes, and like that's it. That's what the FBI is being run on: vibes and just cocaine, I think. Trump weighing the ouster of Kash Patel, according to sources. Patel has come under scrutiny for his stewardship of bureau resources, including his girlfriend's security detail and use of a government jet. I made a video on the use of the government jet. This motherfucker used the FBI director's private jet that he's supposed to get approval to use. He used that for a booty call so he could go fuck his bitch. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, that's what he used it for. He went to go see his little country singer girlfriend, and she pretends to be a country singer. She sings like the national anthem at like fucking like some random wrestling event that's not even like it. It's a joke. And he also has been using a fucking like SWAT team to protect her. A SWAT team. A security detail SWAT team, which is highly unusual for like even higher ups in the FBI, not especially for girlfriends of FBI directors. Like that's not what that's not what it's for. Cuckoo cuckoo. Like what the fuck are you doing? So President Donald Trump is considering removing Kash Patel as FBI director in coming months, as he and his top aides have grown increasingly frustrated by the unflattering headlines Patel has recently generated. According to 3 people with knowledge of the situation who requested anonymity in order to speak freely. Patel has come under scrutiny for his stewardship of bureau resources, including his girlfriend's security detail and the use of a government jet, and for his squabbles with other Trump loyalists. I mean, there was a whole like blame game between him and Pam Bondi. Like, she's not releasing the file. They're releasing the file. It's like been like a whole like that Spider-Man meme of them all pointing at each other, but it's actually just all of them covered. They're all covering up the Epstein file. It's not one person. It's all three. Like, anyways. Trump and White House aides have confided to allies that the president is eyeing removing Patel and is considering top FBI official Andrew Bailey as the bureau's new director, according to the 3 people. Patel is described as being on thin ice, and his ouster appears closer than ever, with Bailey as the logical replacement. Bailey is definitely the logical replacement because it's definitely not Dan Bongino. You might as well kick them both out, like get rid of them both. Bailey is the co-deputy director. He's like a co-deputy with Dan Bongino. 2 of the sources with knowledge of the situation said, though Trump could change his mind in the weeks to come. White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson responded to MS Now saying, President Trump has assembled the most talented and impressive administration in history. Wow. Did you knock a tooth out when you were lying through your teeth? Like, damn. Wow. And they are doing an excellent job carrying out the president's agenda. Damn. No, wow. I mean, the president's agenda, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah. It's not, I guess she didn't say it's a good job. FBI Director Patel is a critical member of the president's team, and he is working tirelessly to restore integrity to the FBI. Motherfucker. Fuck off. We've heard so many reports coming out of the FBI. Like, this motherfucker's been doing like loyalty tests with fucking like lie detector tests. He fired somebody that had just for having a pride flag on their desk. Come to find out, that person that had a pride flag on their desk was given that pride flag by the FBI. The FBI gave it to them. They displayed it on their desk. Kash Patel, little Patty Patel, comes in and he's like, "Oh, that's woke agenda. You're fired." Hello? You're really that insecure, first of all, and then second of all, what the fuck? Like, could you imagine if your employer gave you something as like a show of like they accept you, and then the next person comes in and fires you for that show of your like of pride? That your employer gave you? Like, it's crazy. On Tuesday, Patel was present at the White House for the annual pardoning of the Thanksgiving turkeys, where Trump publicly commended him, adding that he was... Oh my God, I don't understand. Very busy doing a great job. Really? 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 Very busy doing a great job. Really? Name one time. Name one time. Name one good thing out of Kash Patel's FBI so far. Name one good thing. Because I'll wait. I'll wait, Trump. When several people applauded, the president added, "See, you've got a following, Kash." No, you just have a fucking cult, bitch. Shut the fuck up. They'll applaud at anything you fucking say. Following publication of this story, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posted to X that it was completely made up. She said when the fake news was published, she was in the Oval Office where Trump was meeting with his law enforcement team, including Patel. "I read the headline to the president and he laughed," Leavitt wrote. He said, "What? That's totally false. Come on, Kash, let's take a picture, show them you're doing a great job." That means nothing. That means nothing. Like, Trump could turn on anybody. Trump could turn on his fucking, like his children tomorrow. He would sell them down the fucking river. Like, this means nothing. And you're asking when he's right in front of him? Like, do you have, like, what? You have no decorum, Caroline. You're so stupid. The picture showed the two men standing next to each other with smiles and each giving a thumbs up. In an interview last week with Fox News Channel's Brian Kilmeade, the president backed Patel, saying, "I do have confidence in Kash, a lot of confidence, and the DOJ." So, like, how do you have confidence? Who has confidence in Kash? I don't think anybody anywhere has confidence in Kash Patel. I don't think Republicans have confidence in him. I don't think liberals, leftists, libertarians, even fucking anarchists have like any faith in this man. Like, how do you have confidence in him? What the fuck? He has fucked up so many different fucking things. Like, there's so many things in the Charlie Kirk investigation that he shouldn't have even really been involved in to begin with. Anyways, there's so many fuck ups that I can't even start to be like. There's like the reporting about it said like the Triantifa, that fucking like the bullet inscribings that came from him, the messages that came from him, and we all know that those are most likely bogus. Pretty much everything, every leak came directly from the FBI director. And it wasn't even a leak because he just told. Like, he was trying to get so much attention for that. And it was like so evident and in the way that he handled everything. And like, oh my God, that anti-ice bullet. Who says anti-ice? And he wrote it, like, it looks like somebody wrote it on, like, it's so stupid. They're so stupid. Like, for how many different suspects were we told about with the Charlie Kirk shooting? There was like 3. there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around about the death of Charlie Kirk. I am more of the school of thought where I'm not really going to sit here and conspire. If there's proof of anything, show me, and if there's things that don't add up, tell me. Which I understand things don't add up here, and I understand that this story might not be the official story is probably not true. But I'm more of the school of thought to wait until something else comes out versus conspiring about foreign governments and other things like that, like some people do. MS Now has reported that U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has been frustrated with both Patel and Dan Bongino. In particular, over Patel's untimely social media posts, boasting prematurely about case breakthroughs. That's what I was just talking about, which sometimes threaten to jeopardize investigations. Both Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche have been irritated by continuing distraction of news coverage of his questionable use of taxpayer resources, multiple sources have said. The news reports include a self-styled whistleblower flagging that Patel had used a government jet for what critics dubbed a date night. I dub it a booty call, to see his girlfriend perform in State College, Pennsylvania, and his use of elite SWAT team agents for a security detail for his girlfriend, which was first reported by MS Now. And agents on the detail with country singer would presumably be unable to respond or delayed in responding to other incidents. So this little bitch thinks she's so important that she needs a SWAT team security detail. FBI Director Kash Patel's aspiring country music performer girlfriend currently enjoys the protection of an FBI security detail to shield her from potential threats, prompting concerns that the arrangement may delay law enforcement from responding to other incidents, like mass shootings or like bombs and like what SWAT teams are like hostage situation. Like what? Hello. Alexis Wilkins, Patel's girlfriend, has a security detail made up of elite FBI agents, usually assigned to SWAT team in the FBI field office in Nashville, where Wilkins spends time for her work. Okay. She and Patel first met in Nashville, and while they travel together at times, they do not share a residence. Which is so, like, even more, like, Patel often travels to Washington for work, but keeps a legal residence in Las Vegas. People familiar with FBI security protocols say they were unaware of any instance in which the girlfriends of top FBI officials received government-staffed security details. Former FBI Director Christopher Wray's wife, Helen, received security protection when she traveled with him. She lived with Wray in their home in Atlanta. And even like security protection is not like a SWAT team detail. Like that's more to do with like their home, like so their home doesn't get like bombed or whatever. SWAT team agents on a detail with Wilkins would presumably be unable to respond or delayed in responding to crises that might develop in their territory, such as mass shootings or terror attacks, according to the sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive security matters. Ms. Wilkins is receiving a protective detail because she has faced hundreds of Oh my God, I'm so tired of this. Ms. Wilkins is receiving a protective detail because she has faced hundreds of credible death threats related to her relationship with Director Patel, whom she has been dating for 3 years. Out of respect for her safety, we will not be providing additional details, the FBI said in the statement. So, like, I'm so tired of this argument. They're getting death threats. Like, so is every single person on the internet, especially anybody that has anything to do with politics. And if you want to be a singer, especially a female singer, you're probably going to be getting death threats all the time. Now, is that right? No. Are they actually credible? No. No, they're not. Just people telling you in your Instagram DMs to kill yourself, that's not a death threat, sweetie. That's somebody who needs a Percocet. Like, move on. It's every single person in the political spectrum gets death threats. It's just part of it. Maybe don't date the director of the FBI and be so public about it and be an aspiring country singer and be getting so much fucking like special treatment and be fucking like getting him to use millions of fucking dollars on a fucking jet so he can just go fucking have a booty call with you and then take you back home. Like, it's, shut the fuck up. God damn it. This revelation about the deployment of FBI agents to protect Wilkins comes as Patel faces criticism for his stewardship of bureau resources. Most recently, Patel has come under scrutiny and amid reports that he had flown on the FBI's $60 million government jet last month for what critics called a date night to see Wilkins perform the national anthem at a wrestling event in Pennsylvania. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Trump inserted Andrew Bailey in the unusual role of co-deputy director at the FBI in September amid broad Republican concern about Deputy Director Bongino's lack of experience for the role. Why stop there? Why stop there? Why stop there? Kash Patel had a short time at the DOJ, I'm pretty sure it was, and then he was a podcaster. Hello? Like, he was a podcaster who talked every single day about how all the top FBI officials have all the Epstein files and they're just choosing not to release it. They're part of the swamp, blah, 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 blah. The second he gets in there, he folds like a fucking cheap suit, bitch. What the hell? Bongino, a conservative radio show host, oh my God, and former Secret Service agent, had no experience in the FBI when Trump chose him to serve as deputy director after his inauguration. Neither did Kash Patel. Kash Patel has no fucking experience in the FBI. Neither of them do. Under federal law, Trump can install Bailey as acting director of the FBI without Senate confirmation, but only after Bailey has served in his current senior leadership position for at least 90 days. Bailey was appointed on September 15th under the requirements of the Federal Vacancies Reform Act. Bailey could begin working as acting FBI director at any time after December 15th and serve for the next 210 days without confirmation. Bailey previously served as Missouri State Attorney General and has earned high marks inside the FBI ranks, who consider him a steady hand on the helm, which several internal critics argue Patel and Bongino are not. Well, duh. Like, I could have told you that. Like, just take a fucking look at them. Like, obviously they're not a steady hand on any helm. They're not. I don't believe they even have steady hands. Even if they fucking tried. Even if they were sober. Like, just. Anyways, so under federal, but acting director of the FBI. So even if Trump is like telling the truth and he's not going to like fire Kash Patel, he's most likely, well, worst case Ontario for fucking Kash Patel, he is going to be fired. That's the worst case Ontario for him. But if the silver lining could be maybe he gets demoted to deputy director and they put Andrew Bailey as director of the FBI. If Kash Patel takes that demotion, he would probably just rather quit or resign, get fired. I have no fucking clue. I don't understand him for anything, and I don't really want to, anyways. So, yeah, I'll keep you updated, I guess. Look. All right, so unfortunately, 2 National Guard troops were shot in D.C. this afternoon. and the governor had confirmed that they had passed away. So let's get into it.
Paul, we have a very unfortunate update now from the governor of West Virginia just in the last couple of moments here. He is confirming that both of the National Guard members that were shot today have passed away, have succumbed to their injuries. And I'm going to read this updated post now from the West Virginia governor here. It is with great sorrow that we can confirm both members of the West Virginia National Guard who were shot earlier today in Washington, D.C. have passed away from their injuries. These brave West Virginians lost their lives in the service of their country. We are in ongoing contact with federal officials as the investigation continues. Our entire state grieves with their families, their loved ones, and the Guard community. West Virginia will never forget their service or their sacrifice, and we will demand full accountability for this horrific act. We have 2 families in West Virginia that will not see their children come home ever again because they've been shot by a murderer in the middle of the nation's capital, only a few blocks away from the White House, a city that is supposed to be the safest city in America. And we have now all witnessed together 2 National Guard troops, 2 young men or women, we don't know yet, have now lost their lives in the line of duty.
All right, so obviously this is fucking horrible. Like, this is, no matter how much I hate the fact that National Guard is even in DC, who the fuck wants this to fucking happen? Like, who wants this? Nobody wants people to, like, lose their fucking lives, families to lose their son, their father, their brother, sister, mother, daughter. Like, nobody fucking wants this. And there's already been fucking people on the internet, like, blaming the left. And it's so fucking abhorrent to me that immediately after somebody dies, you're using that death for some sort of political game. It's really abhorrent to me. So, because this was in DC, I believe FBI does have jurisdiction. So, Patel was on the scene. Patty Patel is on the scene, baby.
Events that happened today at approximately 2:15 local time in Washington, D.C., where 2 of our brave members of the National Guard and the Department of War were brazenly attacked in a horrendous act of violence. They were shot. They're in critical condition. As you can see behind me, we have assembled the full force of both the federal and state and local law enforcement agencies to bring bear all of our resources to make sure we find the perpetrators responsible for this heinous act. And make no mistake, they will be brought to justice. Since this is an assault on a federal law enforcement officer, this will be treated at the federal level as an assault on a federal law enforcement officer. The FBI will lead out on that mission with our interagency partners, to include the Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service, ATF, DEA. And we're thankful for the mayor's assistance in this matter, the Metropolitan Police Department and their skills in investigating homicides and gun shootings in this city is exceptional. FBI director, we're here to...
Well, I guess Trump didn't end crime in DC. Sorry, but like, well, in my personal opinion, I don't trust Kash Patel as far as I can fucking throw him, and that's not that far. So, I don't know. Like, look how he handled the Charlie Kirk shooting case. Look how he handled the ICE facility shooting case. Like, he has not done a good job. And he's already, apparently, there's been reports saying that he's on thin ice in the Trump admin. So, let's see how he handles this, but we shall see. So, it came out...
that he comes here from Afghanistan. Now, this is a guy who's been living in Washington State, not Washington, D.C., on the other end of the country. He comes here from Afghanistan.
Which is so fucking crazy. I don't understand what the point was. Like, I'm sure, well, who knows what we'll get what information will come out of Kash Patel's FBI. Like, Jesus fuck. But I don't understand the point. You went from all the way from Washington to Washington, like all the way from like Seattle basically to Washington D.C. The fuck? That's like coast to coast almost. And to kill 2 random National Guards people, like it doesn't make sense to me. First of all, I mean, no murder makes sense to me. I think that's the whole thing. It's kind of illogical. But what the fuck?
Afghanistan in the summer of 2021. Remember what that was like. Refugees fleeing Afghanistan, people had to be recommended by U.S. people on one end, vetted on this end by government background checks as far as they could do in Afghanistan, have sponsors and so on. He settled in Washington. He applies for asylum in December of 2024. Now he goes through another vetting process involving that, and he's approved for asylum in April of this year under the Trump administration. He comes in under the Biden administration. These checks are being done. I remember as a part.
So it comes out this man had immigrated from Afghanistan, and he was granted asylum under Trump. So Trump granted the shooter asylum. So there's a lot of people coming out already who are like, is it like there's we'll get into it, but there's a lot of right wingers pointing fingers already, and they have been for ever since this information came out. Now, then it came out that Trump is the one who granted this the asylum to the shooter, and like what now? What now? All right. So this is motherfucker
because let's face it, the left-wing politicians, I should say, they have blood on their hands. I mean, when Lisa Stockton makes a...
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? People come out and say, hey, don't follow illegal orders. And you try to tie somebody doing something extremely illegal against sitting troops, like active troops. What the fuck are you on? What do you smoke? Like, how do you sleep at night? Fucking, here's Brett Meiselas. He's at the right wing rage brigade is disgusting, and I think Americans are sick of it. Absolutely fucking sick of it. Why the fuck are you trying to paint this as a left versus right thing when 2 people just died? Have you no shame? 2 of your fellow citizens just died. And you're out here fucking blaming left-wing politicians. How about you blame the fucking shooter, first of all? How about you blame the fact that you have no gun control, second of all? Like, things like this are going to continue to happen, and they will continue to happen indefinitely unless you get the proper gun control laws in America. Every developed nation has some sort of gun control. You are one of the only ones that doesn't. You have more guns than people. That is ridiculous. The fact that this is allowed to happen on the regular is insane. This will continue to happen. What happened to Charlie Kirk will continue to happen until you get proper gun control laws in America. And I'm not saying that you have to take away all the guns. That's not how it works. Here in Canada, we still have guns, but we have gun control. And there are certain regulations put in place so that psychopaths and people with terrible backgrounds can't get fucking guns. Like, what the fuck? And nobody needs an assault rifle. Like nobody needs an assault rifle. Any trained hunter will tell you that you do not need a fucking assault rifle. Like, my God. What is the, like, I don't understand. So, immediately after, here's Ben Meiselas tweets out, they went from blaming Mark Kelly to President Biden pretty quick. Always blame with them. Like,
Chairman, to hear the left, to hear the Democrats, the progressives go out there and say that this creates more military, more, people in uniform in general, whether it be police or National Guardsmen, it triggers people, makes them feel unsafe. I've just never bought into that argument. It makes me feel more safe.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you fucking stupid? Can you... Let's think of something that is kind of frightening from the government. What would that be? I don't know, maybe martial law? What does that look like? Troops on the street? Right. What do you have in DC? Troops on the street. Hello? Like, where is the cognitive dissonance? Like, why can you not connect those two things? You fucking idiot.
Not less safe.
Absolutely, and we've seen a difference in Washington, D.C. Crime is down
hold on,
significantly.
Chairman, hold on. We just got this. I need to get to it. This just in, sources are telling Fox News that the shooter is an illegal immigrant from Afghanistan who came in during Operation Allies, welcome under the Biden administration.
But granted asylum under Trump.
That visa. All right, Chairman. So Fox News is learning that this person was here illegally, overstayed his visa, and that...
Do you see how they immediately shield for Trump? They're immediately omitting the truth. A lie by omission is still a lie. You're a liar. Propagandist, like state propaganda. Like, it is fucking crazy.
That's who this shooter
The way that they cover for him is actually insane.
Profile is. What's your immediate reaction?
Well, my immediate reaction is we tried desperately to get an accounting of all the people that came from Afghanistan.
Motherfucker. He applied for asylum. You had an account of him. Like, you granted him asylum. Hello?
To the United States during that disastrous withdrawal during the Biden administration.
So first it was Alyssa Slotkin, Mark Kelly, and all them fucking centrist Democrats that literally came out and said, follow the Constitution, follow your oath to the Constitution. Don't break the law. First it was their fault. Now it's the Biden administration's fault. Who is next? Like, what the fuck? And did you see that guy's fucking reaction?
General, whether it be safe, not telling Fox News that the shooter is an illegal immigrant from Afghanistan who came in during...
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, my God. I'm not listening to this sociopath speak. Fuck him. So he says, President Trump has asked me, and I will ask the Secretary of the Army, the National Guard, to add 500 additional troops. Are you fucking kidding me? This is so stupid. It's like, oh, something bad happened. The answer's more. Like, no, get rid of them. They shouldn't have been in fucking... They shouldn't be on the fucking streets anyways. I've literally seen pictures of them picking up garbage. Like, what the fuck is this? 500 additional troops, National Guardsmen to Washington, D.C. This will only stiffen our resolve to ensure we make Washington, D.C. safe and beautiful. The drop in crime has been historic. Before you even got there, that was the truth. Like, it had nothing to do with the fucking National Guard. And now 2 National Guardsmen are dead. Like, the increase in safety and security has been historic. Well, clearly it hasn't. But if criminals want to conduct things like this, we will never back down. God. This fucking lunatic, Laura Loomer, belongs in the fucking loony bin. Like, oh my God. She says, that's it. I want a king. Oh my God. You are so fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck? And your king was the one who granted this motherfucker asylum. Bitch. Fuck you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? I seriously don't understand it. Well, I do actually. It's called mental illness. And don't take my account for it. The bitch has been locked up in the loony bin like multiple fucking times. And I would talk a little bit more sensitively about things, but I don't fucking care. This motherfucker doesn't deserve any moment of fucking peace. She needs to be locked up in a padded room in a straitjacket. And she needs to have her filler dissolved. But that's besides the point. So, checking in on the MAGA investigation. Alex Jones, this dumbass, trained diva, like this motherfucker. What did he say? Don't want to put chemicals in the water because they're turning the frogs gay. They're turning the frogs gay. Sorry. He says, who shot the National Guard troops in D.C.? Communist, trans, Muslim, Antifa. Oh my God. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? The last, the ICE facility shooting, none of these things. Charlie Kirk shooting, none of these things. The presidential assassination attempt, so you say it was none of these things. Over 75% of political violence in USA is none of these things. So, what the fuck? Antifa? Like, America used to be Antifa. Like, what the fuck? I'm so tired of that. Like, oh my God. Anyways. All right, so now this motherfucker, he had to get on and do a presidential address to the nation. So let's watch.
This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity. The hearts of all Americans tonight are with those two members of the West Virginia National Guard and their families. The love of our entire country is pouring out for them, and we are lifting them up in our prayers. As we are filled with anguish and grief for those who were shot, we're also filled with righteous anger and ferocious resolve. As President of the United States, I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price. This heinous assault was an act of evil and act of...
Okay.
I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights.
Whoa, okay, can we go back? Whoa. Hold it. Let's go back a second. You say Afghanistan is a hellhole on earth? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I understand the American public has been propagandized against Afghanistan. And listen, there are bad actors in Afghanistan. I'm not going to sit here and act like there isn't. But to call it a hellhole on earth is so fucking heinous to me. You are so fucking ignorant. And it just goes to show, like, oh my God. Oh my God.
That everybody...
And also, is this even him? Is this AI? He has not been this coherent in 5 years. And I don't know. He hasn't moved his hand. I don't know.
He was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it. His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country. This attack under...
That sounds like him. The fuck?
Disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country. This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation. The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world, from places that you don't.
No, they did not. No, they didn't. I'm pretty sure 20 million immigrants, like undocumented immigrants, is like the amount that America has had in total, like for a while now. It would be like to have that population double in size under the Biden administration, who deported more people than you did in your first term. To say that it doubled is crazy. Like, just fucking insane.
Want to even know about. No country can tolerate such a risk to our.
From places that you don't even want to know about. Stop fucking talking about places like they're fucking hellholes. Like, what the fuck? You have no fucking clue. Americans are so fucking ignorant to the what other countries have to offer, and it is a lot more than what happens in politics and what your media chooses to show you. And like, you guys act like other countries all live in the slums. Like, it's like, my God. Anyways, in Afghanistan, they have such cool and inventive ways of making the. I hate this. It's so ignorant. Like, you cannot completely discount a country for any, like, fuck you, bitch, fuck you.
Very survival. An example is Minnesota, where hundreds of thousands of Somalians are ripping off our country and ripping apart that once great state. Billions of dollars are lost, and gangs of Somalians come from a country that doesn't even have a government, no laws, no water, no military, no nothing. As their representatives in our country preach to us about our Constitution and how our country is no good. Disastrous president, the worst in.
Whoa. Okay. That was the most racist thing I've heard in like a while. Whoa. Oh my. Did Stephen Miller write this? Like, whoa. What the fuck? I live in Canada, and we have a rather big, prominent Somalian community, and like, I would say 99% of the time they're literally just coming here and trying to have a peaceful, normal life, like, or give back to their community, like somebody like Ilhan Omar, who is Somalian, I believe, right? Yeah. So like the net overall, like, it's just racism. It's just racism. Like, my God. He never has issues with white immigrants. It's always the people of color, and it's so fucking frustrating. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. My God. It's like having to sit here and listen to it, and then like also like, am I supposed to treat this like it's like intellectual fact, like what, as if it's real? Like, what is this? This is just insane racist slop. Like, what the fuck?
We're not going to put up with these kind of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country. We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden.
This is ridiculous. they're probably going to use this like the fucking Patriot Act, like, and as an excuse to go after immigrants even more. Like, they're already going after immigrants, sending them to concentration camps. Like, my God, I'm gonna fucking scream.
And we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them. America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time, we will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling.
Notice how he says we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any immigrant from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to the country. And if they can't love our country, we don't want them. Nothing what he said there was commit like violent crimes or even commit crimes. It's now we have to get rid of the ones who don't belong here, which could mean anything, or add benefit to our country. What the fuck does that mean? Because you've been going to Home Depot, rounding up people. You've been going to farms for months, rounding up people, like job sites, rounding up people. Are they not adding benefit to the country? You talk this way about Ilhan Omar. She has been chosen by her constituents to represent them in Congress. And you talk about her like she is a villain. Like, she is adding benefit to the country because she is representing what the people want. She's giving a voice to her constituents. God.
That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500 troops to help protect our capital city. We will make America totally safe again, and we will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice if the bullets going in the opposite direction haven't already done that. During this time of the year, when we gather at home with loved ones,
What the fuck? Who wrote this speech? Is this even him? Like,
tonight I can
was
announce
the press there? Like, I don't understand this. I'm so confused by this video. Oh God, not this Nazi fuck. Stephen Miller. That's who I feel. That's when he was speaking. Yes, I heard Trump, but the words sounded like Stephen Miller's. Even any alien from our country, every single alien. Trump does not say alien that often. Like, he usually says illegals. And there was multiple things. Like, it didn't feel. It just didn't feel very. The speech, at least. I don't know. It's very weird. And why is he up late? It's very weird. I don't understand what this video is. I think it's not real. I feel tomorrow's Thanksgiving in America. Why is he even at the White? Like, I don't understand this. Oh, is that
it was
why?
a crime against humanity.
Trump is using a giant curtain which hides the fact that he is at his Mar-a-Lago country club and on vacation. Is that why there's no press? Like, it just, like, there's just so many things. It just seems so, like, I don't know. Very weird. It doesn't, like, looking at it, it doesn't, like,
Tonight,
super
based
look
on
like
the
a
best
AI.
available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights that everybody was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it.
No, I don't
His
think it's
status
him.
was
There's
extended
something
under
wrong here. There's something wrong here. He's either... He never stays on script. Like, it was way too... I mean, he did it sort of a few times. And the quality is shit. I don't know if it's just a sins like fucking the clips, but usually with AI, when you like turn down the quality, it gets a lot more believable. So I'm just like wondering. It's just a theory. I'm not saying it is, but like it's just weird. I'm not sure. This is insane. All right. All right, so the New York Times has been keeping track of Trump's schedules, and they've noticed some trends. So let's get into it, shall we? Shorter days, signs of fatigue. Trump faces realities of aging in office. President Trump has always used his stamina and energy as a political strength, but that image is getting harder for him to sustain. His stamina and energy is an addiction to speed. Like, let's be real. Like, he's an Adderall addict. The day before Halloween, President Trump landed at Joint Base Andrews after spending nearly a week in Japan and South Korea. He was then whisked to the White House, where he passed out candy to trick-or-treaters. Allies crowed over the president's stamina. This man has been nonstop for days, one wrote online. What the fuck are you talking about? Did you not see the picture, the video, of the Japanese prime minister, like, literally walking him around as if he was a lost fucking toddler, saluting randomly at, like, what the fuck? Nonstop for days, getting embarrassed by fucking the South Korean fucking president fucking trolled you so fucking hard and you didn't even know. How many times did you say fucking? I don't care. He was not nonstop for a day like that. Anyway, a week later, Mr. Trump appeared to doze off during an event in the Oval Office. Just 1 week. With headline-grabbing posts on social media, combative interactions with reporters, and speeches full of partisan red meat, Mr. Trump can project round-the-clock energy, virility, and physical stamina. Now, at the end of his 8th decade... Okay. Mr. Trump and the people around him still talk about him as if he is the Energizer Bunny of presidential politics. The motherfucker can't even stand up for a fucking press briefing anymore. Like, he is sat behind the Resolute desk constantly. The reality is more complicated. Mr. Trump, 79, is the oldest person to be elected to the presidency, and he is aging. To preempt any criticism about his age, he often compares himself to President Joseph R. Biden Jr., who at 82 was the oldest person to hold the office, and whose aides took measures to shield his growing frailty from the public, including tightly managing his appearances. Well, I wish somebody would tightly manage Trump's appearance, because he looks like shit all the fucking time. And even when you think the makeup looks bad, go look up what he looks like. Like, Google Trump without makeup at Mar-a-Lago. It is terrible. And I'm pretty, Joseph Biden, I'm pretty sure, he probably had cancer for the last bit of his presidency, and that would probably had an effect on him. And yeah, he's old as a hill. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and defend him, but motherfucker, that doesn't mean another old ass motherfucker should be in again. Like, that's so stupid. Why do you want 2 octogenarians in a row? What the fuck? And even before that, Trump was like in his 70s before. Jesus Christ. Gerontocracy is insane. Mr. Trump has hung a photo of an auto pen in a space where Mr. Biden's portrait would otherwise be, and disparages his predecessor's physicality often. Motherfucker. Have you looked in a mirror recently? Jesus fucking Christ. He sleeps all the time. During the day, during the night, on the beach. Mr. Trump said about Mr. Biden last week. Jesus Christ. The irony is like lost on him. Adding, I'm not a sleeper? Motherfucker. We've seen you asleep in public so often. What are you talking about? You're not a sleeper. What the fuck? Mr. Trump remains almost omnipresent in American life. He appears before the news media and takes questions far more often than Mr. Biden did. Foreign leaders, chief executives, donors, and others have regular access to Mr. Trump and see him in action. And he's often incoherent, babbling, repeating the same couple stories over and over again. Like, it's dementia hour is usually on full display. Like, that's not a good thing for Trump. Like, it doesn't make him look good. Still, nearly a year into his second term, Americans see Mr. Trump less than they used to, according to a New York Times analysis of his schedule. Mr. Trump has fewer public events on his schedule and is traveling domestically much less than he did by this point during his first year in office in 2017, although he is taking more foreign trips. He also keeps a shorter public schedule than he used to. Most of his public appearances fall between noon and 5 p.m. on average. Yes, because 5 p.m. is when sundown starts, and sundown hour starts, and the motherfucker starts to lose any coherence because he's demented. And when he is in public, occasionally his battery shows signs of wear. During an Oval Office event that began around noon on November 6th, Mr. Trump sat behind his desk for about 20 minutes as executives standing around him talked about weight loss drugs. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is sitting there obese. At one point, Mr. Trump's eyelids drooped until his eyes were almost closed, and he appeared to doze on and off for several seconds at another point. He opened his eyes and looked toward a line of journalists watching him. I'm sorry, getting distracted by him down there. He stood up only after a guest who was standing near him fainted and collapsed. And his reaction to that was terrible. He just looked straight at the reporters, like didn't know where he was, didn't know what was going on. Oh my God. Asleep. Like, Jesus Christ. Mr. Trump has prompted additional questions about his health by sharing news about medical procedures he has had, but not details about them. While in Asia, Mr. Trump revealed that he had undergone magnetic resonance imaging at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in early October. I gave you the full results, Mr. Trump told reporters, mischaracterizing the summary that was released by his physician, which did not say that Mr. Trump had an MRI scan and contained few other details. Yeah, but he can't keep his mouth shut. I have no idea what they analyzed, Mr. Trump told reporters. Usually when you get an MRI, they tell you what they're scanning for. Like, it would not happen. They would just be like, okay, you're just going to get an MRI for no reason. And if there was a reason, it would not happen. It would not tell you. Unless you have an ongoing case of dementia. Aboard Air Force One recently, after he was again asked about his MRI. But whatever they analyzed it well, and they said that I had as good as a result as they've ever seen. Motherfucker, you can't bullshit this type of shit. Like, people... there's a lot of people who work in the medical field, and a lot of people, even down to like smaller roles, we know that MRI scans usually come back as unremarkable or no other, like, there's no good and best result we've ever seen. Like, that's not a thing. And obviously it was a bad result because this motherfucker always says the exact opposite of the truth. Every time he's like down in the polls, he goes, I'm up in the polls. He's the lowest polls he's ever had. He's the worst polling president ever right now. And he's like talking about how he's in the 90s. He brought it up from the third. Like, he's such a con man. Mr. Trump also applies makeup to a bruise on the back of his right hand, adding speculation about a medical condition that his physician and aides say is caused by taking aspirin and shaking so many hands. Oh, please. In September, the bruising on his hand, coupled with swollen ankles, caused observers on the internet to speculate wildly about his health. Okay, taking aspirin, shaking hands, that would not give you a bruise, please. Second of all, why are you on aspirin? You don't just... Aspirin is not recommended to just take willy-nilly anymore. You have to be told to take it because you have a condition or you have suffered from some sort of infarction or something of the sort, like a heart attack, stroke, something like that. So why are you on aspirin? First of all. Second of all, that's bullshit about the bruise. You're getting IV treatment. Just admit it. You at least could say something out. Like, you could say you're getting IV treatment for anything, but like just coming out and saying it's from shaking hands, that's bullshit. And the swollen ankles, huge. That looks like fucking congestive heart failure, in my personal opinion. But they say it's like a venous indeficiency, which is still like usually caused by something else. Like, this motherfucker is on his way out quick. He's rotting from the inside out. In response to a list of questions about Mr. Trump's health, including about the results of his MRI and whether or not he was falling asleep in the Oval Office, Caroline Leavitt, God, I hate her, the White House press secretary, praised the president's energy and pointed to Mr. Biden. Oh my God. It's like they can never answer a question. They just like deny and then like shift blame. Like, oh my God. Bait and fucking switch. Unlike the Biden White House, who covered up Joe Biden's cognitive decline and hid him from the press, President Trump and his entire team have been open and transparent about the president's health. Not true. Which remains exceptional. Oh my God. See, it's... you cannot... Like, these are just like blatant, terrible lies. Like, you cannot... You can't lie to people when they can see things with their own eyes. Like, we see him, Caroline. You can tell when somebody's sick. All of us have had grandparents or older family members that have gone through something or been like, or have parents or blah, 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 something. We know when people are sick. Like, we as a society, we can pretty much, there's no good way of determining somebody is healthy per se, but a lot of us can look at somebody and determine when they're unhealthy. That's pretty clear across the board. And you cannot just blatantly lie like that. You have to admit to something because his health is not exceptional at all. And we can see. After this article published, Mr. Trump called it a hit piece in a post on social media. For years, concerns and questions about Mr. Trump's health have often been met with obfuscation or minimal explanation from the people around him. Yeah, exactly. Not transparent at all, Caroline. Mr. Trump's physicians have not taken questions from reporters in years, including when he was seriously ill with COVID in 2020. There was no medical briefings held after an assassination attempt against him in Butler, Pennsylvania last year. Abso-fucking-lutely, bitch. Because when have we, like, they have been so hush-lipped and quiet about that assassination attempt, and they never even released anything to do with it. An assassination attempt on a sitting president. You didn't get medical briefings, no files, nothing. Like, weird. Okay, weird. Many of the facts that concern critics about Mr. Trump's physical health during his first term are present now. He does not get regular exercise, in part because he has a long-held theory that people are born with a finite amount of energy and that vigorous activity can deplete that reserve like a battery. The fuck? He eats red meat. He eats red meat and is known to eat McDonald's by the sackful. Dude. Yeah, look at him. According to his physician, however, he has lost weight. In 2020, Mr. Trump tipped the scales at 244 pounds. My ass. A weight formerly deemed obese for his 5'10" frame. This year, Mr. Trump's physician, Dr. Sean P. Barbarella, said in a summary of the president's health that he weighed 224 pounds. Yeah, and my name is Goldilocks, and I just ate the porridge of 3 bears. Like, fuck off. Like, what are you talking about? Mr. Trump frequently muses about the effectiveness of weight loss drugs like Ozempic. Maybe you should try them. He refers to them as the fat drug and talks about people he knows who have taken the medications, but his physician has not said if he takes one of the drugs himself. Doesn't work on him if it does. If he does. President Trump exhibits excellent cognitive and physical health and is fully fit to execute. This person needs to be tried. This person needs to be, when all of this is over, you are doing the moratorium on this bullshit, Dr. Barbarella needs to be tried. How is this not like treasonous behavior? This person is approving Donald Trump's physical and mental health. He is saying and allowing Donald Trump to be cognitively fit to run the United States of America. He can't even have a coherent conversation without Fox News having to fucking edit all around it. Like, it's insane. What the fuck, Dr. Barbarella? Fuck you. Oh my God. Still in his second term, Mr. Trump's schedule shows some significant changes. According to a Times analysis of the official presidential schedules and database maintained by Roll Call, Mr. Trump's first official event starts later in the day. In 2017, the first year of his term, Mr. Trump's scheduled events started at 10:31 a.m. on average. By contrast, Mr. Trump in his second term has started scheduled events in the afternoon on average at 12:08 p.m. His events end on average at around the same time as they did during the first year of his term, shortly after 5 p.m. Sundown hour. The number of Mr. Trump's total official appearances has decreased by 39%. In 2017, Mr. Trump held 1,688 official events between January 20th and November 25th of that year. For that same time period this year, Mr. Trump has appeared in 1,029 official events. Mr. Trump still regularly comes down to the Oval Office after 11 a.m., according to a person familiar with his schedule. This routine is a holdover from his first term after he complained about being overscheduled in the mornings. Mr. Trump kept so-called executive time hours in the White House residence before he headed downstairs for work. Executive time... the motherfucker's asleep. And these are the people who will tell you that, people on SNAP and, what are they called? Food stamps are lazy. People on welfare are lazy because we work 40-plus hour work weeks and still can't make ends meet. And this motherfucker works 12 to 5, Monday to Friday. Mr. Trump has kept up frequent international travel, often with tight turnarounds, including a one-day trip to Israel and Egypt in October. Mr. Trump has logged more international travel than he did in the first year of his first term. He took 4 international trips that year and has taken 8 so far this year. Well, it's because he fucked up trade. Mr. Trump has kept up frequent international travel, often with... Mr. Trump holds frequent Oval Office events, posts regularly on social media. He doesn't post himself. And is often at his golf clubs on the weekend. Yes, he is. Though most of what he does there is shielded from the public. Okay, the fucking makeup on the hand. Sam Cedar at Majority Report, he has been keeping a track in his phone. Like, when it seems like Donald Trump has a little bit more energy, and that makeup shows up again. And I think it's around the 10th or something. Or, I don't know. But every month or so, that reappears. He seems to get a little bit more energy. There is an Alzheimer's drug that is injected intravenously once a month that is injected at the elbow, like the arm. And if you can't find an arm, and a lot of times you cannot with older people because just the veins are a lot harder to find. They're smaller and everything is like a lot looser and everything. So it's easier to find veins in the hand, which would explain the bruising, because when you get an IV and it gets taken out, sometimes like the blood can spread and will cause a bruise, or depending on which drugs you get, and that would explain what's been going on. Because fucking handshaking does not explain shit, bitch. Mr. Trump has long rambled in his speeches. During his 2024 campaign and in his second term, the meandering has often been noticeable. He can veer off script to share stories that are sometimes riddled with untruths, such as his false claim that his uncle, I forgot about this, John Trump had taught the domestic terrorist Ted Kaczynski at MIT. So weird. He said, like, his uncle taught the Unabomber, and then people fact-checked it. Never happened. I said, what kind of student was he, Uncle John? Dr. John Trump. He said, what kind of a student? And then he said, seriously good. He said he'd go around correcting everybody. Mr. Trump said during a speech in Pennsylvania in July, but it didn't work out too well for him. Didn't work out too well. But it's interesting in life. But I will say this, that we have the greatest brains, we have the greatest power, and we are going to have more electric. Okay. Presidents in general try to paint the best picture possible of their health. Matthew Dallek, a political historian at George Washington University, said that Mr. Trump was following examples set by his predecessors, including his most recent one. True. The people around him are similar to Biden's aides, Mr. Dallek said. Yeah, that's true, but the media, this is one of the, like, a lot of the mainstream corporate media, like the big outlets and the big news corporations, they're not breaking these things down the way that they did for Biden. Biden stepped the wrong way, and it was wall-to-wall coverage on multiple news channels. This motherfucker is falling asleep, rambling, has a flight of ideas, cannot have a coherent conversation, cannot walk in a straight line, limping, has cankles the size of Texas. What the fuck is going on? The bruising on the hand every month. Where is the media? This is, the New York Times is one of the first times that they've actually said anything about it. And they're not even really talking about his cognitive decline that much. They're talking about his health, but they're not even really going into anyways. They would talk as if we're living in a little bit of a fantasy world. Trump, in that way, with the help of his aides and his doctors, have created this fiction about his health to hide the hard, cold truth that he is 79 and one of the oldest people to ever occupy the Oval Office. Put an age limit on the presidency. Like any other medical patient and any other president, what Mr. Trump chooses to reveal to the public about his health is up to him. With no official template for releasing health information, physicians sometimes rely on summaries of medical tests without going into detail. A physician for Mr. Biden, who faced persistent questions about his health, wrote last year that he had taken an extremely detailed neurological exam, but did not say whether the examination contained common tests for assessing cognitive decline or detecting signs of dementia that are often recommended for older adults. President Trump's physician has released 2 detailed reports following both of his physical examinations as part of his ongoing health maintenance plan. And anybody who watches President Trump and his daily public events can clearly see he's in impressive physical and mental shape. What world are you living in? With an unrelenting work ethic, Ms. Levitt said in a statement. Caroline, oh my God. Jesus Christ. Dr. Jeffrey Coleman, who served as a White House physician from 2000 to 2013 and wrote a book about presidential health care, said that Mr. Trump's schedule contrasts with those held by George W. Bush, who was 54 when he took office, and Barack Obama, who was 47. Both built exercise into their daily schedules. Mr. Bush was in the Oval Office by 6:45 a.m. every day, Dr. Coleman said, and Mr. Obama would arrive by 10 a.m., though his days often went later until 7 p.m. or so, when he would meet his family for dinner. And Obama probably worked out in the morning. That's probably why he started at 10. They show him as effective, Dr. Coleman said of Mr. Trump's aides, but every time he's in the Oval Office, he's sedentary. Abso-fucking-lutely. Dr. Coleman added that it is commendable that at his age, Mr. Trump still boards Air Force One using a long flight of stairs, but you don't know what he does as soon as he walks in the door. True. And we all know how fucking pissed he got about the fucking escalator that stopped. He was so pissed that he had to walk up the stairs. He was pissed. Threw a hissy fit. With his approval rating falling among voters and more Americans reporting dissatisfaction with the economy, Mr. Trump's allies have urged him to direct his focus back to domestic affairs. The president's aides say they expect him to do more travel through the United States ahead of the midterms. My God, good luck with that. But Mr. Trump is also considering a trip to Davos, Switzerland, to attend a conference alongside global leaders and corporate titans in the winter. Well, he could have fucking gone to the G20. He had a chance. Like, he wanted to boycott for bullshit. Like, fuck off. There's one thing Mr. Trump is doing more of in his second term, talking about the afterlife. He has brought up heaven and the question of whether he would get in half a dozen times since taking office for the second time. True. There has to be some kind of report card up there someplace. Mr. Trump said during an interview with Fox News in August, adding, "It's sort of a beautiful thing." While he was ruminating, his trademark competitiveness kicked in and he turned back to Mr. Biden. My God. Look, religion was the backbone of our country. It's much less so now. Motherfucker, you're not religious. You don't go to church. You didn't grow up going to church. Like, fuck you. You have no idea what you're talking about. 2 Corinthians, bitch. Like, fuck you. Well, but it's getting much stronger under me. Oh my God. Evangelicalism, and even that is like, oh my God. Your cult's getting stronger. Like, and even then, that's getting splintered now. God. Mr. Trump said it was terrible under Biden. Oh my God. I was so amazed. You know, I won evangelicals like by 88%. Yeah, because you signaled You chose the most hateful and racist fucking things to campaign on to get them on your side. Anti-trans, anti-immigrant, anti-people of color, anti-anything. And look at this fucking bitch. His mouth is... This is what somebody looks like when they've suffered from a stroke. I'm not saying he has. I'm just saying that's what somebody that has looks like. And that's it. So this is him. This was him at the 9/11 commemoration event at the Pentagon in September. And I put up a few other times. Look, this is him asleep in his own trial. His own trial for corruption and insurrection. And this motherfucker was asleep. Imagine being asleep at your own trial. Trump asleep at the Pope's funeral. Literally sleeping at the Pope's funeral. Trump asleep at his own birthday parade. Trump asleep in the Oval Office. Trump asleep in Saudi meeting. Jesus fucking Christ. Hello? This is only a few, this isn't even all of them. There was 3 other times in that fucking article and more. It's insane. And then this is his response to this art. This is crazy. Okay. The creeps at the failing New York Times are at it again. I won the 2024 presidential election in a landslide. You won by 7 million, did you? Or I don't know. Winning all 7 swing states, the popular vote, and electoral college by a lot. You gotta be fucking kidding me. He did not write one as one, oh my God. He's running the country. Wow, okay. Wow. Okay, so the President of the United States just wrote the word WON1, as in you win something. He wrote it as the number 1, ONE. Okay, wow. I thought the run-on sentences were bad. Jesus Christ, wow. I won our nation's districts by 2,750 to 550, a complete wipeout. I settled 8 wars. I have 48 new stock market highs, all from AI, and it's just a huge bubble. Our economy is great. It's just AI, and it's just a huge bubble for everybody except for the AI companies. It's terrible. And our country is respected again all over the world. That's the opposite of fucking true. And if anything, you've been on a streak of making yourself look like shit and the bad guys ever since Iraq. And this has plummeted you down. You have little to no respect left on the global stage. Even the people that you want to ally yourself with don't respect you. Putin doesn't respect your ass. The fuck are you talking about? All over the world, respected like never before. Bullshit. The last administration had the highest inflation in history. I have already brought that down to normal. That's not true. Inflation is worse. And prices, and including groceries, are coming down. Not true. That motherfucker. You can't just keep lying to people when they go to the grocery store and buy the food you're talking about. They know how much it costs. You don't go to the grocery store. To do this requires a lot of work and energy. Bullshit. And I have never worked so hard in my life. Well, you have barely worked your entire life. So that's a really low bar, Donald. Yet despite all of this, the radical left lunatics in the soon-to-fold New York Times did a hit piece on me that I am perhaps losing my energy. Radical left lunatics, the New York Times. We really need to like teach people what radical left means, because what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The fuck? Like, despite facts that show the exact opposite, they listed a lot of facts actually. They know this is wrong, as is almost everything that they write about me, including election results, all purposely negative. This cheap rag is surely an enemy of the people. Jesus Christ. The writer of the story, Katie Rogers, who is assigned to write only bad things about me, is a third... Well, is she only assigned to do bad things about you, or is she just assigned to write about you and all the things you do are bad? Like, you know, maybe if you stopped being such a dipshit, she would stop writing about you like you're a dipshit. Like, she is a third-rate reporter who is ugly, both inside and out. Excuse me, sir. Have you looked in a mirror? Have you looked in a mirror? Have you looked in a mirror? You are the ugliest motherfucker to have ever held the seat of presidency. And that, my friend, is a low bar. But you are limbo. You are a limbo champion with that bar, bitch. God. You think that you're attractive? You think that you even look good? Motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Do you have astigmatism? Like, what's wrong with you? Both inside and out. So this is a week after he told a reporter to quiet Piggy. And then told another reporter that he didn't mind her question, but he doesn't like her tone and the way that she asked it. Jesus fucking Christ. Despite all of this, I have my I have my highest poll numbers ever, and with record-setting investment being made in America, they should only go up. There will be a day when I run low on energy. Yeah, 3 years ago. It happens to everyone. But with a perfect physical exam and a comprehensive cognitive test that was aced, remember, he lies and says the exact opposite of the truth when it's something like this. So it was a terrible physical exam, and he failed his comprehensive cognitive test. It certainly is not now. Jesus Christ. God bless America and make America great again. Eat my ass, you old demented felon in diapers. Like, we have eyes, we can see. Like, you're such a dumbass motherfucker. All right, everybody. Fucking keep your eyes open. This is crazy. The gerontocracy needs to be fucking ended. Like, hello? Oh my God. Have a good night.